Campbell Scott intended to mix business with pleasure, much like anyone else. When he arrived in Nairobi for a week-long trip on February 16, 2025. The plan was simple. Prepare for business meetings, then knock back a few cold beers. Launch a product his company, FICO, developed in conjunction with TransUnion, one of only 3 licensed credit reference bureaus in Kenya, and then go see some sights. But what should have been a memorable trip to one of Africa's most touted business and tourism destinations, and which Scott might have recommended to his family and friends, turned into a tragic excursion within 48 hours. On Thursday, February 27th, Chief Government Pathologist Johansen Oduor said that further tests will be conducted on samples collected from Scott's body, including a toxicology screening to determine the cause of death. Dr. Oduor said that the head and multiple soft tissue injuries on the Briton's body were too minor to have caused his death. Scott checked into the JW Marriott at around 1 p.m. on that Saturday, a warm afternoon with temperatures rising to 28 degrees. To some, it was inviting for a few cold beers. The Scotsman strolled to Havana Bar and Restaurant along Woodvale Grove in Westlands, about 1 kilometre from the 5-star hotel, after a little small talk with some of the hotel staff. He seemed jovial and happy to be in Nairobi. At Havana, Scott was in the company of a man who has been in the wind since February 16th, and who police believe could be among the Britain's killers. They spent at least 2 hours at Havana, after which Scott walked back to the JW Marriott alone. He briefly spoke with hotel staff again before going to his room. The following morning, Scott had his breakfast and hung around the hotel until around 11:15 a.m. The burly Scotsman left JW Marriott at 11:15 a.m. on February 16th to Havana Bar and Restaurant, and reunited with his unidentified friend from the previous day. Police are yet to reveal whether witnesses have pointed to the two planning their second meeting. But from the CCTV footage reviewed by officers from different police units, the two seem to have struck a friendship. On that Sunday, they spent more time at Havana Bar and Restaurant. The mystery man, who is one of the prime suspects at the moment, hailed a taxi on his phone. Scott and the mystery man walked out of Havana at 4:39 p.m. to board the taxi, which was to drop them off in Pipeline, a suburb just over 17 kilometers from Havana Bar and Restaurant. From the witnesses who have spoken with police, that was Scott's last sighting, although the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI Intelligence Division, would later get tip-offs, albeit when it was too late to save Scott from his killers. Michael Edward Maniton, one of Scott's colleagues at FICO, and who was also in Nairobi for the same product launch, wanted to have a sit-down to plan for the big project which their employer hopes will attract clients in Kenya and across the world. At around 6 p.m, Maniton called Scott's UK-registered phone number, but it was switched off. He did not know it yet, but Scott was in Pipeline at the time. Maniton thought Scott's phone had run out of charge, and that the two would eventually meet and schedule a meeting to prepare for the product launch. An hour later, he tried again. Scott's phone was still switched off. He now started to worry, as Scott had not communicated his whereabouts or plans that day. JW Marriott staff advised Maniton to file a missing person report and escorted him to Parklands police station, approximately 850 meters away. Early morning on February 18th, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, formally joined the case and roped in their Crime Intelligence Research Bureau. Detectives combed several bars in the Westlands area, looking for anyone who may have interacted with or seen Scott. By that evening, a request had been put into Interpol to assist in tracking Scott's movements. 4 days later, the police had reviewed CCTV footage from Havana and interviewed some witnesses from the nightclub, including staff. They made the decision to detain the taxi driver and a waiter, as those were the two individuals police believed could give details on Scott's last movements before being reported missing. At around 2:46 p.m., as the police were preparing to make the arrests, their colleagues in Wote were receiving a disturbing but not too unusual report. A herdsman in Mukuyuni had stumbled upon a green sack from which a stench was emanating. It turned out to be a body. The body was recorded by the police as that of an unidentified African male, but it was Scott's body, partly decomposed. The Wote police believed that whoever dumped Scott's body was trying to squeeze it under a culvert along the Wote-Machakos highway. By then, triangulation of Scott's phone had shown that it was switched off around the Wote area. The following morning, the DCI was informed of the body that had been transferred to the Makueni County Referral Hospital mortuary. They informed the British High Commission and Scott's colleague, David Hornus, and arranged a trip to Makueni County Referral Hospital's mortuary the following day to identify the body. This case remains a chilling mystery. Who was the mystery man Scott met in Nairobi? Was this a planned execution or a deal gone wrong? As authorities work to piece together the puzzle, we will keep you updated on any new developments. If you found this report insightful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to LifeLens TV for more in-depth investigative content. Stay vigilant, stay informed.
Unlock the secrets of the world around you with Peter Tosh Williams' insightful explainer videos exclusively on LifeLens TV. Get ready to dive deep and gain profound understanding on a variety of fascinating topics. Subscribe now and expand your knowledge like never before.